nervous. Why am I doing this? First of all, the theme that I started with was fighting depression with curiosity and building up self-acceptance. After I reach day 100 of these daily video things, I'm ready to transition away from that and towards things that are not just self-therapy. Since this project has really been so helpful for me, I figured I should keep doing it in some way. So I thought, I guess I want a more structured framework to encourage myself to consciously take action to troubleshoot whatever's bothering me and to just generally be happier. I want this to actually feel like a therapy session, like I made an appointment with myself. Yeah, maybe it would be good to kind of take an inventory of everything that's wrong with me. I can sum it up pretty quickly. Depression, anxiety, all sorts of anxiety, and a general deep sense of loneliness and difficulty connecting with other people, difficulty understanding people, especially their emotions, and a difficulty expressing my own. This is something that, for me, requires conscious effort. And a few people who knew me before I started practicing this thing with the daily videos, a few of those people who then watched a couple of them said that it was very strange seeing me showing emotion. And they said it was very, even my ex-boyfriend, I think, watched a couple of my videos, and we still talk once in a while online, and he said it's kind of like the uncanny valley, but for personality, when you see somebody you know acting. And that made me wonder, is what I'm doing in these videos, is that acting? Is it fake somehow if I'm putting extra effort into conveying my emotions in a way that I don't normally do in day-to-day life? I don't know, but I feel like in a way it's more genuine, the acting that I do on camera. It's more genuine because it more accurately conveys what I want to convey. Whereas when I'm with people, generally I really struggle to get across what I'd like to get across. In order to be genuine, to some degree, I have to be fake. I suppose my hope is that if I just practice being more emotive, that eventually it will become second nature and I won't have to think about it so much. Kind of funny, I started this daily video blog mostly thinking that depression would be my main concern. As time goes on, I am starting to feel more confident that I can prevent a relapse of depression, but at the same time, I know that no matter what I do, I always have to be on guard. Anyway, so I thought that would be my main obstacle, but it hasn't been. Anxiety has been the thing I struggle with. I still have panic attacks maybe about once every couple of weeks. So my idea is every week I will review, check on my progress, and give myself some homework, some changes, and then keep track of all my changes in a change log. You know, just like you would with a software project, a change log for tracking which bugs I'm fixing and which features I'm adding and what I'm doing to reprogram my brain. If my goal is to improve my self-acceptance, how do you even measure something like that? How do I know if I've been successful? How do I troubleshoot something like anxiety? The times when my anxiety has been lowest were probably when I was the most engaged in creative projects and being happy in a relationship. So I've talked about this a bit before as part of my many types of anxiety that I have. I'm pretty sure I must have adult separation anxiety. I must. I fit every description of it. It's so funny, it's so ridiculous that everybody I know wants to stay away from their family. Most people I know require effort to make a point to call their mom or their dad or to check in on their family, to be a good son, to be a good daughter. And I have the opposite problem. I struggle to be away from my family. It was so difficult for me to leave after I stayed there for a few days for Christmas because I was so worried about them. My family is older than most, and I guess since a young age I've been very aware of that fact. As a first step, right, baby steps. I figured I would at least make a rule for myself that I will not spend more than one night staying over at their house in a row. Unfortunately, the year just started and I've already failed at that goal. It's not a big deal, it's just the thing that concerns me is the fact that that is such a small change and I still failed to do it. Clearly I have a problem. My dad said something that surprised me. He apparently avoided telling me about his own tendency to keep to himself and how he never really had a lot of friends either. And he avoided telling me about that when I was growing up because the way he put it was he wanted more for me. When I told him that I felt like there's something wrong with me, he said, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault for not being more open with you. And he thought maybe if he was more open with me about that, I would feel more comfortable with how I naturally am and would not feel like there was something wrong with me. It meant a lot to me to hear him just talk about that for a while. This was a really emotional conversation. So I talked to him about this other issue. What can we do? What can we both do so that we can continue to enjoy spending time together, but at the same time help me? Maybe it would help if we had more scheduled things planned in advance. Maybe I can trick my brain into thinking the reason I go there is to do X, Y, or Z, instead of thinking I'm going there because I'm scared to be by myself. That's not a good reason. That automatically makes the whole thing into a negative, avoidance, and it shouldn't be. It should be positive. And I like my life and I'm living my life, and I also like being with them too. So I have a couple things to add to my change log for this week, and then a week from now I will evaluate how well they worked. See you later.